Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's class. Today we're running analysis on a data set called sales. It's like a sales data set. It's a sales data set, and it tracks the trends around the sales of this particular data set. It's a data set from a company. I can't really call it a company now, but like a super store, kind of like a supermarket kind of store analysis. So the first thing we're going to be doing is, this is the raw data, and like I've explained, you do not touch your raw data. So all you need to do is you copy your raw data and then you paste it into a new sheet. The reason why you're doing that is because just in case there are changes, your stakeholders or your managers or your clients or whoever has given you this data set, just in case they have changes or there's an error they are trying to check, that means you do not have that data again because you already tampered with it. So the rule is just copy it, and we can do that by doing Control A, then Control C. Then let me increase this. Okay, let me copy it first. Okay. Okay. So Control A, Control C, then you create another sheet here by clicking on this plus button. Alright, so this is a new sheet, and then you do Control V to paste it. So this is now your new data. You rename it as transform data. I'm trying to move it. Yes. Alright, so this is it. So first thing first, I like us to check the headers. You can bold them, increase them, come here, and then yes, so you can do that. What else can we do to this? You can actually come here and I'm trying to see. Okay, you can change the background color of this into something like you can just change the background color to anything that suits, any color that suits you. So there's this color that I think it's this one. Yes. So for this kind of color now, I think the best color you can use here should be okay, so I like to use this. So this is fair. So what else can we do to this to make it very distinct? Okay, first thing first, let's make sure that all our data sets are aligned well. Can you see? Just highlight them, make sure that they are in the middle. Instead of doing it one by one, you can just highlight this, click on your format painter, and just click on this. So the same thing goes again. You highlight this, instead of doing it one more, like one after the other, you can just use it for everything. You can highlight everything like this. So for cases where we have the ones that are still not spacious, then you give it space. Can you see? Just to make sure that so this is it. Let me give this some space. Alright, let me give it some space. Let me give it some space. So I'm trying to give it some space now. Alright, so I hope we can all see it clearly now. Okay, so fine. So that's the first thing, to just make sure that everything is thoroughly organized. So the first thing that we're doing is we're trying to make this analysis, this particular data set. What can we do with it? We have, how many columns do we have? How many rows do we have? How many columns, how many rows? So this is the columns: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So we have 9 columns in total. Then for the rows, you can stroll this, you can pick this from here and then you drag it. I don't know why. So this thing is actually stressing me. Okay, anyways, you can so we're back. So like I said, the first thing that we're doing in this analysis, we're creating a new we're inserting a new column by right clicking. Just need to right click and then click on insert, and then you label, you give it a title called year. So there's a formula that we're going to use, which is equals to text. What does your text do? It converts a value to text in a specific number format. So you click on tab, then you click on your, what's the value? The value is the date. Then you had your comma, the format text. Do you want the full year, or do you want it in just 13 or 2013 in full? So it depends on what you want to use. So let's start by alright, so that will be, the Y stands for year, so let's do year. So let's just do this and then you close it back. So that is how you get your full year. Do you understand? So the next thing you need to do is just double click it, and it will all align itself. So this is the first thing that we are going to be doing here. So the next one is we're going to be inserting another column. Remember to highlight, make sure that you highlight before you insert another column. Give it a title header. So this one is going to be months. Are we together? Yes, it's going to be months. So it's the same thing, equals to text value. What's our value? Our value is still our date. So comma, what's our format text? So for months we'll be using So do you want to write the full M? So I think I initially used 2 M's. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, so this is actually wrong. So it's like you double click this like this and add another M, or you just come to the formula bar and then you add another M. So let's do enter. So this is what we want. If you want it in full, just add another M, so that will be full, but I don't need it in full, so self-fill it down. So the third thing, insert another column. Make sure that you're highlighting, don't make the errors that I'm making. Insert, and give it a title, day of week. Okay, so day of week, make sure that you give this one exactly. So day of week, the same thing, equals to text. What's our value? Make sure you still come here, this is still your value. So for the day of the week, it's going to be D. So double D, let's just use 3. Let's close this. So this is exactly what we need. And now you've actually made it easy for your stakeholders to know, okay, in 2013 this first date is not just a calendar date. They can know the year now, they can know the months, without even having to go through them one after the other. Now they can even know the day of the week that this particular transaction happened. It's that simple. So the next thing that we're doing, and the one that will take most of our time, is the season column. So we're about to add season to this particular analysis, because it is not an analysis like, should I say, Nigeria data set. So I think it's a California or Texas data set. So I got it from Cargo. So they use their seasonal period to monitor trends. Do you understand? So they usually know that, okay, in winter this is the particular category of sales that goes up, or this product maybe is accessories that moves faster, and this one doesn't move faster in summer. So they usually make sure that they know their seasons are in their data set, and that's what we're going to be doing now. So you just need to also insert another column. Are we together? So insert another column and make sure that you give it a title called season. Alright, so once you do that, so this one is we're going to be using a formula called ifs, not if. So ifs checks whether one or more conditions are met, and it returns a value corresponding to the first true condition. So let's see how that goes. Click on your tab. So what's our logical test? So it's simple. I do not like to write everything in full like this, because we're going to be using our months. So I'll just prefer to do this. I'll click on this FX, then I'm going to click on my months. Can we see it? I'm going to click on my months. So this was the error that we had the last time, and it's not even a bad error. So is that we do it like this, or let me cancel it and see. Let's do it again. Equals to ifs, then tab, month, then you come here. Let's see if it will change. So it did not change, and that's why you can actually move this closer so you understand what we are doing. So now, since we've done this, so our logical test is, there's logical test 1, and there's value if true. There's value if true 1. So what this means is that anywhere Excel sees November, can you see that the first month, this C2, the first month there is November, right? So anywhere it sees November, is going to agree. It's not naturally, it's supposed to say equals to I hope we can, I'm not sure I can increase this font again. Okay, so you see it said false. Why did it give us false? Because it is November that is the first month here. You know what, initially, before I actually clicked January, before I typed it, you see that it brought November. Yes, this is correct, but because I have to start from the beginning of the year, which is January, so that is why I am using January. And make sure that the month that you are using is in accordance to what we have here. Don't go and be writing full January. Excel will not recognize it. So you see it says false. So now what is your value if true? What is the summer for January? So summer for January is winter. The summer for January is actually winter. See, all these columns, all these semicolons, blah blah blah, they are very, very important. If you do not add them, it will not work. Can you see? So what it means is that anywhere it sees January, the value if true will become winter. It will change it to winter. So let's continue. The next one is, we're still going to click on months, and we're going to do equals to, so the next month will be February, FEB. Make sure that is in line with the previous month column that we've created. Please don't go and make mistake. So February is also winter. So you can see that the way we are writing it is actually showing in this cell. Yes, it will show. And also make sure that you understand this. If it is month equals to January is false, but what your value if true will be winter. The same thing as February, but your value if true will also be winter. So let's continue. Our month then equals to then March, that's MAR. Please make sure that, can you see MAR here? Make sure that it is the same thing. So you don't need to click enter to give it another space here. You just need to come here. If you click enter, it will run the whole code, and we are not done. So the next season for March is actually called, for March is spring. So let's type it out, spring. All right, so the next one is April. Just follow. Okay, so you can see I made an error here. It's supposed to be spring. Okay, April is also spring. April is spring. Just take it one step at a time so you don't make errors. So we've done April. The next one is May. April, May. Click on your months again. Don't bother whether the formulas are getting longer than the month. Just keep clicking on it. Excel understands. April. So the next one is May. Alright. And don't bother about the false. What we need is the value if true. So May is still spring. Alright. So the next one is month. June. That's JUN. If you want to check if you're correct, because we have to be correct, you can scroll down just to make sure that it's June. JUN. Yes, we have it here. Then you scroll up and then you come here and add space. Don't click enter. Once you click enter, it is gone. So what's the season for June? June is summer. June is actually summer. So the next one is going to be July. So July is JUL, and you close those brackets, semi brackets. Then what's the season for July? July is also summer. Alright, so it's saying invalid. Why do you think it's saying invalid? If you look at it very well, I did not open a semicolon here, so please make sure that you follow these rules. If not, it will be giving you errors, and errors can be very, very annoying. So you don't want to be in that state where you cannot figure out what your error is saying. So after July we have August. Sorry, we have August. So the next one will be August. August is summer. August is also summer. So let's continue. Click on this. Equals to, after August, September. September is SEPT, if I am correct. You can scroll down. Yes, I'm correct. Remember, don't click enter so it won't go away. September is fall. You can see I'm taking it one step at a time. September is fall. So the next one, you click on this again. So October is going to be fall. Alright, so I'm going to give it more space because we're almost done. So that's for October. So we have November. Alright. So November will be fall. Always make sure that you open your semicolon and then you close it. So this is the only one that will be saying true. Why is it saying true? Is because it's actually the first month here is November, so don't worry about it. So just continue. December. So this one will say false, obviously. Then the last one, December is always winter. So the first thing you need to do once you get to December is go through everything one after the other. We're supposed to have 24 of this formula now, because January, the months of the year is 12, so that's 12 months and 12 seasons. I mean 12 columns for this season, so that will be 24. So you can count them: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24. So that is 24. So you're done. You can see the whole formula is actually showing here. So imagine if we wanted to write all those formula here. This is how it's going to be showing. So this is a way simpler way of using this formula. So you click OK, give it time to come up. Yes, so that's for now. You need to self-fill it. Remember, this data set is a very big data set. It's a big one, and I've actually done a lot of work on it, so that is why it is a bit slow here. So now this is what we have. Anyway, you'll be seeing this July, it must be summer. So the same thing goes for March, spring. So that is the exact, okay, this is the whole formula. Yes, this is it. This is everything that we wrote there. All right, so the next column that we're going to be working on, the age group. So originally we have customer age, but these are just numbers. These are numbers, and we need them to be in ranges. We just don't want them to be 19 years. What does 19 years actually, what does it actually represent? What does it mean? So we're trying to make sure that this analysis is transformed. We're trying to make sure that it's giving us informed insights. So what does 32 mean? Is it senior? Are they seniors? Is it youth? Let's just transform the data. So we're still going to be using ifs. So you just need, is it that we put it here or before this? But I think we should put it after this. So let's add the title. So age group. All right, so how do we do that? We're still going to be using ifs. I'm sure by now we're already used to ifs. So we'll start with this, and then let's use this. I think I'm getting used to this already. So if F2, which is your customer age, if F2, just leave it like this and do if F2 is greater than. So first thing first, you're supposed to actually look at all the ranges of this data. So we can see it started from 19. So we're going to be use if F2, that's our customer age, if it is less than 25, then we're going to say that they are youth. Just hold on. that means they are youth. So we're going to continue again. F2, if it is less than 34. So this thing, you can actually do it the way you like. You can make sure that you know the ranges, but these are the ranges that I'm going to be using. I started from less than 25, then 34, then 64, then 65, because the highest age here is around 65. So you can use it the way you like, but just so it is not too overwhelming, you just have 2, 3, 4 of them. Do you understand? So if it is actually less than 34, then if it's less than 34, then it is let's say young adults. You understand? Okay, so let's click on this again, and then we do if they are also less than 64. Remember, don't click on enter. They're less than 64, then they should be called adults. Yes, they should be called adults. Alright, so the last one will be click on the customer age again, and then so this time around we're not using if they are less than. So now if they are greater than 65, that will be the last one. So this should be senior. So it means that anywhere we are saying these ones that they are senior. It also helps us to monitor the trends of what young adults are purchasing, what the youths are purchasing, what the adults are purchasing, and what the seniors are purchasing, so we don't run out of products. This is also a way to analyze what is in stock and what is not in stock, depending on how your age groups are purchasing your products. Do you understand? So now we're done. I think it's just 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's click OK. Let's see. Okay, so it says 19 is a youth. Now let's self-fill. So I hope you understand it though. So this is the formula. If F2, which is your customer age, is less than 25, then they are youths. If they are not less than 25, then they are 30. That means they'll be 34. So those ones are young adults. If they are less than 64, they are adults. If they are greater than 65, they are seniors. So let's self-fill. Alright, so we have them now. So now let's just do something, a quick thing here. Let's add a filter to this, because I'm sure a lot of us would be like, oh, why, how do you know how to actually know the ranges? So I've added a filter. Now let me check. Can you see? We have 17. That's the lowest age range. Then we have it. Also, we even have 87. I think this data has been updated. So the last one, I actually thought it was C. Okay, or probably because I just wanted to make sure that anyone that is greater than 65, then they should be seniors. So from 65, okay, from 65 like this, all of them are seniors. Okay, I think I understand what I did there. So this is how you actually know the ranges. All you need to just do, what's the youngest? 17. Okay, if it is less than if you want to start from 17, that's fine, but originally you don't need to start from 70. You just need to start from a middle age that will refer to the younger ones, which is that 19. Anything less than 19, what do we call them? Youths. Do you understand? So that is also another way to actually get the ranges before you now start giving them this category. So this is another way to do it. I know some of my students will be like, oh, we've actually done this in Power Query. Yes, there's a way we can do this in Power Query. So I think I need to remove this. So I just used it to explain how we can actually transform this particular column into this, and I hope you all understand it. So the next one that we're going to be working on is the customer gender. Let's work on the customer gender. So we're going to be using if. So some stakeholders, I've witnessed some stakeholders find this thing very irritating, where you just write M and F. They will tell you what does it mean, that your analysis is supposed to be explainable without even you talking, just in case you want to present it to a lame person, somebody that is not even a tech pro or tech sis. What does this mean? So we always make sure that we write them in full. So the next thing you're going to be doing is insert a new column. It's a very simple thing. So once you insert a new column, you give it a title, customer. This time around, don't give it underscore gender. You know, you have to make sure that they are not the same title. They are not the same title. And then you just do equals to. We're going to be using if here. Equals to if. Okay, I made an error there, so let's cancel this. So that will be equals to if. Make sure you click on your tab, customer gender, click on this. That's your customer gender, right? So if it is equals to, if this is equals to M, which is this, then it is male. Just give it male. And if that's your value if true, and add an, okay, I've not closed the brackets, then add another column. So what is your value if false? That will be female. So this part is actually one of the easiest. So let me explain it again. What it means is that your customer gender, this is it. Your logical test, this is it. If my customer gender is equals to M, because that's the first thing there, M, then my value if true will be male, then my value if false will be this. So I don't know why it's giving me, okay, I'm supposed to close my brackets. So it's still saying there's don't mind this. So if customer gender is H2 is equals to M, then my value if true will be male and my value if false will be female. Let me see if it will come with error. Okay, so there's no error. Don't mind, that's my Grammarly coming up. So there's no error. So anywhere Excel sees M, it's going to recognize it as male. So now let's actually go through it again. It's simple. If H2, which is your customer gender, is equals to M, that's your logical test, then your value if true will be male, while your value if false will be female. So I believe we all understand that. So the next thing that we're doing is we're going to be working on creating some new columns, because if you look at this particular analysis now, they did not calculate total costs. We don't know their revenue, we don't know the profits. Do we all understand? No total cost, no revenue, no profits, but we have order quantity, unit cost, and unit price. So there's a way you can actually calculate that. So in this scenario, you don't even need to create another cell. we don't need to insert another column. We just need to start, just give it a title here, total costs. All right, so there's a formula that we're going to be using. How do you get a total cost? So your total cost is supposed to be your unit costs multiplied by your order quantity. That is how they calculate total cost. Your unit cost, that means the amount that a unit of this particular bike rack costs, the amount that this bike rack costs now, that's the unit cost multiplied by the order quantity, which is 8. So that means 45 multiplied by 8 will give us the total cost. So how do we do that? It's very simple. Just click on this and then click on, this is your multiplication sign, okay, and click on this. So those are the two things you need. Then click enter. So if you double click it, you see it's saying that N2 multiplied by 8, which is your order quantity. So that is correct, 360. All you need to do is just self-fill it. So you've calculated your total costs, which is so easily explainable to your stakeholders, because they are going to ask you. Make sure that your analyses are aligned. All you need to do is just come here, put this, use your format painter, and then place it here. By the way, we are not done. You know that this is a currency, so make sure that you had your dollar sign. Now it makes more sense. It makes a lot of sense. I hope we're actually following. Alright, so the next one that we're doing is revenue. You just need to give it a title here, revenue. Alright, so how do we calculate our revenue? It's also simple. Your revenue is calculated as unit price multiplied by your order quantity. Unit price multiplied by your order quantity. So you do equals to, this is my unit price multiplied by my order quantity, and then you do enter. Very, very simple. So you self-fill. Once you're done self-filling, make sure that they are aligned. Do that same thing here, drop it here. Exactly. So that is how you actually get your revenue. Now the last thing that we're going to be doing is called profits. Let's create a column. Let's create our profit column. Alright, so how do we calculate our profits? These are just simple mathematics, plus some people call them statistical calculations, and also how we calculate our profit is revenue subtracted by your total cost. I think that is actually very easy. How do you know your profit? Whatever you've made, which is your revenue, multiplied by your total cost. That's the cost of the goods that you got. I think that is actually very explainable. So that would be equals to revenue, then minus your total cost, and you do enter. Once you do that, you do self-fill. Then you come here, because we are making sure that our analysis is consistently aligned. We don't want this one to be straight, this one to be, everything has to be in line, organized. That is why you're a data analyst. So I believe we all understand this. If you double click this, it will show you how you got this column. So I hope we all understand this. So this is where we're going to be stopping today. Let's have a quick recap. So we're able to create our year column, month column, day of week, season, age group, customer gender. We transformed the customer gender, and then we calculated our total costs, revenue, and profit column. So I really hope that you understand this class, and see you in the next one.